Hi everybody. So I'm really excited to announce that I'm dating somebody new. And she's really great. She's funny, she's nice. We get along really well. She's not the typical type of person I probably would date normally, but yeah, she's great. There is just one, I don't even know if it's a problem. It's just weird, and I don't really know what to make of it. Her name is Adolf, and she just tells everybody to call her Addie. But I honestly didn't even really know right away. And when she told me, I was just kind of like, oh, we sort of started off. It was kind of weird how we met, because if you're a recurring viewer of this channel, you'll probably remember a couple videos ago, she was basically my worst enemy because of just a lot of stuff that I was dealing with at the time with my nephew and my sister. And she came into my life in an odd time, sort of at an adversarial perspective. It's such a long story that's really not relevant or worth discussing at all. But basically, she was living with me, my sister, and my nephew for a while, and I think she was dating my nephew for a little bit. Believe it or not, she's she's on the younger side. I don't know. I know that can be kind of controversial, age gap relationships and all that stuff. I don't think it's too bad. I mean, I'm 28 and she's 18. She'll be turning 18. She turned 18 recently. But not that recently, she's 18. And so we sort of, like I said, we sort of had an adversarial relationship. We got we got off on the wrong foot a little bit. But then I think that kind of made it like hot. You know what I mean? It was kind of like we were sort of like, grr, and one night we both, my nephew and my sister, all that stuff kind of blew over, and so, but she was still in town, and I said, the night that it's sort of all of this went down, I texted her and I said, well, do you want to, I don't know, I mean, I feel like, do you want to know my side of things? Because I feel like we got off on the wrong foot, and I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping that, of course you don't, with some people in your life, I don't know if you feel this way, but with some people in your life, it's like, there's two categories. There's people that I would, and then there's people I wouldn't. And basically everybody in my life falls into one of those two categories, basically. And so it was not at the forefront of my mind that I was going to, but she was in that category, definitely. And so when I initiated hanging out for the first time without my sister and my nephew, there was an undercurrent of like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe something will happen, maybe it won't. I don't know. I wouldn't stop it, And so she's very quiet, and she spends a lot of time online, She spends a lot of time on 4chan, and I don't really go on there very much, but I haven't heard good things. But then she sort of, I don't know, she was explaining it to me more, and she was going on it with me, and it's not so bad, it's just a message board, I mean, it's the thing is that they just don't have any moderation. So I mean, I don't know, I mean, it's more that people are bad, not that. I don't know. I mean, a lot of the stuff she was showing me was really funny. The people on there were really funny, and I was talking about, they have a board where you can discuss movies, and they have a lot of art on there and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, she won me over on that side of it. And the more that I've got, it's really great. There's nothing I love more than meeting somebody and talking to somebody who I never thought in a million years I would ever talk to or meet. You know what I mean? And I feel like in adult life, when you start to sort of form your little life and your little bubble, it's harder to penetrate that bubble. So I just have been so fascinated by every single little thing that she says, because it's not much. So everything that she says, I got to kind of hang on to, But anyway, the whole point of this was that she told me She told me that her name is Adolf, and I was kind of like, and I thought it was weird, definitely, but it's not. We weren't close enough that I could ask her, why is that your name? And why is anybody's name anything, right? I just sort of figured, I don't know, maybe she's German or something. And I was like, whatever. She doesn't go by Adolf, that's what it says on her driver's license, and that's what, I guess I was willing to overlook it. There were 3 reasons why I was willing to overlook it. Oh, man. But yeah, basically the past couple weeks we were dating, and it was only really this week that we got close enough where I felt like I could ask her. And she told me that her name was not her birth name. She chose that name because she, some personal details, but that basically she was in a position in her life where she chose to have a new name. And that was the name she chose. So that was odd. It's one thing if maybe her parents were weird and they just named her that, but the fact that she picked that name, I don't know. So I asked her, why did you pick that name? And she said, well, she started getting very defensive, and she was like, what's the problem? Is there a problem with that name? I was like, no, it's just not a name that is really in use much anymore, And she said, I know, that's why I picked it. I think it's unique. And she's sort of in a lot of punk adjacent circles. So I think that's really what it is. I think that she just likes to be controversial. And she's a provocateur, So I think that that's sort of like a punk thing for her. She likes, I think, that people are like, whoa, when they hear her name. Yeah, that was basically what she told me that night when I asked her. She said, "Yeah, I think it's a very strong name. I think it's I think it's an admirable name. I think that it's a name that when I tell people, I feel like we can it's sort of like I know that I'm gonna have something in common with people if I tell them my name, and then I don't know. Again." I think that this is kind of why I'm really bringing it up at all, because it would really suck. It sucks that I feel like we are so perfect for each other, but I don't. Is it as weird as I think it is? Because I feel like I don't know. It's just sort of the type of thing where like. I wouldn't call myself a liberal, but I'm not a right-wing guy. I don't really consider myself anything. I don't really, politically, I just sort of move around a lot. And, my politics is no BS. My politics is tell it like it is. So, I think that it's not like I'm like clutching my pearls like, oh my gosh, it's just that it would be bad for my career, you know what I mean? And that's sort of why, again, another reason why I wanted to make the video, because I wanted to tell you that this was going on. And I guess it's all part of a larger conversation of like, are you willing to overlook political differences if it's somebody you love, like, are you willing to, what's the line? I think about that all the time. Like, would I be able to date somebody who was against abortion? Because I'm very pro-abortion. And stuff like that. Or gay marriage. Would I be able to date somebody who was against gay marriage or stuff like that? And so, would I be able to date somebody if that, I don't know. She's never said anything about any specific group of people, so I don't know if that's, I don't know if it's not like confirmed that she has views like that. It's just, I'm trying to think right now, would that really be a deal breaker for me? What would be the deal breaker, basically? My concern is that this name is sort of a, is like a sort of the tip of the iceberg. And, you know, if that's what she's willing to let people know about her right off the bat, you know, then what else is down there, I guess, is my concern. Now, she's very, very hot. So that's how another factor here. And I know I'm rambling. I don't know. I guess it's causing, I don't know. You know, that's the whole thing. And there's no, I haven't really, I don't date people a lot. I don't really do all this stuff. And so I don't know I don't know. I really wanted to work out, and I just feel like it would really suck if this was the deal breaker, you know what I mean? If this was just an indicative of more problems, basically. So I don't know, because I feel like we've already had the conversation of why is that your name? So I feel like the next conversation that we have a conversation that's like, again, if I bring it up again, then she's going to be like, so you have a problem with it. And then she's going to get very, very, very upset. So I don't really know what to think. I guess that's it. I don't know. I would love for I know typically I'm the one who gives relationship advice, but I guess I would love some help, you know? I don't know.